Chancellor, in 1991, Alan Parton was a Chief Petty Officer serving in the Royal Navy in the Gulf. He had a very promising military career ahead of him and a wife and family at home in Portsmouth. Then a tragic operational incident changed his life completely. Alan suffered a severe head injury, which left him with considerable physical and emotional trauma. It wiped out his memories, leaving him unable to remember getting married or the birth of his children. He also could not hold memories for more than 2 days. He was unable to speak and was limited to basic sign language. Alan spent the next 5 years in hospital struggling to come to terms with his disabilities. All was about to change, however, when Alan went with his wife, Sandra, to the dog training centre where she worked. There, Alan was partnered with Endal, a yellow Labrador assistance dog. Alan has said of that meeting with Endal that Endal took an instant shine to me, picked something up and put it in my lap. He got me to smile for the first time since the accident. Alan adopted Endal in 1998 and the Labrador became his constant companion. Endal was able to respond to over 100 spoken instructions, as well as a large number of signed commands. He could retrieve items from supermarket shelves, operate buttons and switches, and load and empty a washing machine. On one occasion, when Alan was struggling to reach up to withdraw money from a cash point, Endal instinctively jumped up, took the money and the card in his mouth and passed it to Alan. Alan has said, "When I couldn't talk, he learned sign language. If I touched my head, I wanted my hat. If I touched my face, it was for the razor." He learned hundreds of commands in signing. Eventually, one day, in this very silent world we lived in, I grunted. That was like an electric shock going through him. He was so excited. They said I'd never speak again, but Endal just dragged the speech out of me. Alan credits Endal with saving his marriage and his relationship with his children. When visiting Crufts in 2001, Alan was knocked out of his wheelchair by a speeding car and left unconscious in a car park. The driver was in a deep state of shock, so Endal took charge. He pulled Alan into the recovery position, covered him with a blanket from the upturned wheelchair, retrieved his mobile phone, and tried to ring for help. Getting no response, Endal then left Alan's side and ran to a nearby hotel to raise the alarm. Endal himself went on to be quite the celebrity, being one of only 18 animals to receive the PDSA Gold Medal, the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross. In 2003, he was awarded a gold Blue Peter badge and appeared in documentaries on ITV and Sky and on the National Geographic Channel. He also has an extensive Wikipedia page, which also briefly mentions Alan. Sadly, Endal died in 2009, but I'm delighted to say that he remains with us in spirit in the shape of EJ, Endal Jr., who's with us today, and whom Endal mentored. Also here today is Rookie, and you'll see that they are also sporting academic gowns. This amazing partnership led to Alan setting up a new charity, to provide specifically trained assistant dogs to help the injured and disabled of the armed forces and emergency services. Hounds for Heroes. St. Francis of Assisi said that we have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way. I'm sure that the patron saint of animals would see in Hounds for Heroes the outworking of his words. Chancellor, I present to you Alan Parton for the conferment of an Honorary Fellowship of the University of Winchester.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and assembled guests, thank you for this award. I want an honour. I want to take you back. In '91, when I sailed to liberate Kuwait as part of the British forces, I felt a sense of pride that I've not had that feeling till today. It's been a long journey. I have to admit this, in part of my rehab, I had 2 attempts of suicide because I felt I'd let my Queen and country down, coming back being a burden on everyone. And those attempts of suicide were quite serious. And I've now learnt, looking back, that suicide is a very permanent solution to what is a temporary problem, believe you me. I had a very special family that stuck with me, and though I forgot my wife and children, because of Endal helping me learn new emotions, we got remarried 12 years ago. And, you know, when we said for better and worse that time, we were a little bit more experienced. Very much so. For me, this sort of honour, I would like to, I feel underqualified to receive such an honour. And I had the privilege of being the face of the British Legion Poppy Appeal a couple of years ago. And on my poster, when it was released, it said there are over 900,000 injured servicemen and women in this country today. And so close to Remembrance Day, I'd also like to share that in memory of so many fallen. And if people aren't aware, the 2-minute silence is the first minute is to remember the fallen. The second minute is to remember those injured and struggling on. And when those guns do go quiet on the battlefield, the battle with trauma, injury and bereavement go on for so many. This award, sharing it would help me, because I do feel it's just amazing. But for me, the message you are all sending out, all of you, is you care. And at this poignant time for me, with Remembrance Day so close, and I look at memorials and see my fellow comrades' names there, and I meet up with those that are injured, disabled and traumatised, this is one incredible award for me to receive. I did live under the shadow of an amazing dog that when we went to Remembrance Day, he had the Victoria Cross, which sort of scrubbed out all my medals. You know, he was voted the world's most intelligent dog. But one of the greatest gifts he gave me was bringing me back to my family and giving me that reason to live. And I look back at that pit of despair I was in '91, and I couldn't be further away from it today. And this has just reminded me the kick I needed to remind me that people do care. And it's an incredible honour, and I shall put that somewhere very special. It means a lot to me, and I'm just humbled by all of you. I look at your faces today, and, never give up. Listen to an old fool, never give up. There are 3 types of people on this planet: those who have crazy ideas, who never know how they're going to get there. I wanted to set up Hounds for Heroes. I knew it was right. There are those people that turn that vision into reality. They're the mechanics who get that idea from the mad professor to some sort of usable form. And then there's that other group of people who maintain that and keep it going. And whatever you decide to do, never give up. Keep chasing your dreams. Because I just sat one day and decided this is something I had to do. I didn't have a clue how I was going to do it. 900,000 injured servicemen and women. What a target. But I've got the fire in my belly to make it happen. As Sandra reminds me, look behind me, because there's a wonderful group of people making this happen. And you do have to look behind you, to everyone who is making this dream of mine, the crazy professor, into the reality that it is today. Thank you all very, very much, and as a serviceman can only do from the heart, I salute you all.